Now, I can't help it that I'm custom made. I can't help it that I look good, smell good, can dance all night long. I can't help it that I'm the greatest wrestler alive today.
Yo, it's JPI Vance. Me got baby face, me big boss man. Me like America, me got good plan. Mexico water, make Gulf US survey. Me make Zelensky say thanks to my face. Me got baby face, me got big chair. Jump bad, jump good, me no care. Me write big book, kill billies and stuff. Now me important, we're tired tough. Me go Yale school, me learn big word. Now me forget everything me heard. Silicon people give me job, me take. Now me like Trump, me make no mistake. Yo, it's JD Advance. Me fight, walk, folk, me say never die. Me protect kids, me born liberal. Him, them, there. America simple, only two gender. Me face, me big boss man. Me like America, me got good plan. Mexico water, make Gulf US of A. Me make Zelensky say thanks to my face.
Too many gender for my agenda. Went on a bender, execo the sender. Might take Panama just like na. Might take Gaza, pop then a plaza.
Witness my majesty.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome into CobraCast 199. I am your host, Jeremy Prime, Mage out of Unit 199. Happy to see all of you here on a Friday, fresh off of a great episode of Friday Night Tights. And now we get to talk about a less controversial stuff because you guys know I'm very, very not controversial. I don't like to talk about things that get people upset. I don't like to do that. That's not my style. I like to, just have a nice stream. I like to have nice streams and not upset anybody, not offend anybody, not make anyone uncomfortable. That's what this is all about. Thank you all for understanding. Babo Yogi for 20 says pre-stream mod support anti-troll tax. Trolls. If you're going to try trolling the 199, do better. And if you can't super chat your pathetic troll attempts, just shut the F up. And that is what we are talking about. That's how we start this party right there. Let's freaking go. Hail to you, Babo Yogi. Shmoo the DJ. What's up, brother? Long time no see over here, these parts. Good to see you, man. Thank you for becoming a member. Toddy says, Dims seem screwed for now tax. Pour one out for Marcia Lucas. You messed it up. Yes, she is the key. She is the key to the original trilogy. George Lucas's ex-wife, okay? She is the key. She had a lot to do with shaping the original trilogy, and she just passed away at 80 years old. 80 years old. So rest in peace to her. 80 years is a good long life. I don't know if she was sick or whatever. I really don't know what the specifics are about it. But yeah, she just passed away. So rest in peace. Keenan says, did you see the movie Phantom of the Megaplex? I don't think so. Philip Johnson says, Aussie possum pegger tax. Didn't expect that one, Shad. I know, right? A little strange. Robert says, Trump on the $250 bill. Let's go. I hope so. We'll see if it happens. Aberjam says, did you see Mel's 6 a.m. nightmare on Kino? If you're talking about the latest, I didn't, because they just went live like 30 minutes ago. So I didn't see anything though. B40 Brian says, did Ryan's forehead get through customs in Japan yet? The 1A train for 20 says the silver lining of the Blue Origin explosion yesterday. Bezos has now produced a bigger bomb than Rings of Power. Very well done. Very well said. I like your play on that one. Tree Bear says, I saw someone leak the photo of your last day driving a forklift. Definitely not AI. Hail the 199. I don't know if I want to see this. I don't know what I'm about to see. I don't know what I'm about to walk into. Oh, why am I so fat? Good Lord. I'm really fat. Tree Bear. I'm super fat. Like, oh my crap. Today is my day off. Oh man, that's good stuff right there. Hail to Tree Bear. Let's see here. And then I saw this one too, man. I wasn't. What the freak, dude? What are we doing? This is awful. I don't like this. I don't want anything to do with this. RK Gorlock versus Beardo Fat. I'm thinking Beardo Fat might take this one. I'm thinking Beardo Fat might take that one. I don't know. We'll see. Little Jim Zalo says Sydney Sweeney mid. Maggie, is it Jillian Hodder? Dude, don't come in here with this Sydney Sweeney. Don't come in here with this Sydney Sweeney mid garbage. All right. No, stop. You need to stop. Miniature Phone Thing says, why was F&T listed as going live at 4 a.m.? Well, there's probably some like articulate reason that I could say. But ultimately, it's just because we're retarded. Okay? Simple as that. Gregory with a gifted membership. Thank you. Steel Leg of History said, I tagged you in a pic of some 80s Smurf Cup and Chipette's Cup and Red Ranger toy car stuff from the 90s for my niece. Hell yeah, man. I'll check that out. Thank you. Keenan says, did you see the movie Toothless? It doesn't ring a bell. You got a lot of obscure movies, Keenan, which I appreciate, by the way. Fantastic Snock says, seeing Ryan happy is weird. I can't get used to it. Me either. MacGyver says, it's Tequila Friday. Tequila Friday? No, I'll tell you what it is, though. It is Tucker Carlson Friday, because we have a new video from Tucker Carlson. That's right. Tucker Carlson exposes himself. That's right. Tucker exposes himself. But before we get to that, look who showed up in the Rumble chat, ladies and gentlemen. Zwanny for $100 says, you're interrupting me watching Remember the Titans. Jerry getting paralyzed sucks, but damn, the Camaro getting hit, that hurts. You better make this a good one, Fig. Zwanny, first of all, Remember the Titans. Are you watching it because I referenced it during Friday Night Tights? Is that why? Like, Remember the Titans is a legendary film. It's a legendary film. If you've not seen it, you should. I'm not sure why you haven't seen it, but it's one of my all-time favorite movies. One of my favorite Denzel Washington movies as well. So that's just wrong, says Zwanny. What? I'm so confused. We have Zwanny 1 on Rumble and Zwanny 5 on YouTube. It's so confusing. Messing with my head. My favorite sports movie, says Phil. Never seen it? You've never seen Remember the Titans? Okay, so I'm gonna have to give you some advice right now. If you've never seen Remember the Titans, why the fuck are you watching me? You should be watching Remember the Titans and not me. Not at all. GP Baylor for 25 says, I heard on FNT that you run a smooth, professional, uncontroversial, non-political stream over here, and I just stopped by to check it out to see if the rumors are true. I appreciate that. And listen, this is what CobraCast audience has come to expect right here. Okay. They understand that this is a smooth, professional, non-controversial, non-political stream. And I appreciate the fact that the audience knows that. So thank you very much for that, Jeeping Baylor. And I know you're going to be very, very satisfied. With that said, Tucker Carlson exposes Tucker Carlson.
What happens when you're being lied to? Like a lot. Manipulated, misguided, misinformed by a version of me that's been out there deceiving you in a way that looks to be intentional. And so I'm going to take this opportunity to expose myself as myself in a way that would make Anthony Weiner very proud. The perversion of language, the misuse of language, is a tactic that's long been used by authoritarian regimes, tyrannical regimes for decades, for years. And it's something that's being done to you deliberately, and you're falling for it. And it's disgusting and it's shameful. Conflating terms like murder and killing or murder and self-defense, as if when somebody dies at the hands of another person, it's absent all moral context. There's no difference between cops and criminals. Both are killing. For example, a person who invades your home or your community and proceeds to murder your family, take your children hostage, rape your wife, and you respond by killing them, by killing that person in retaliation, justice, or self-defense.
Can't tell if this is a parody or not. Exactly. And that's why this guy is so good. He's fantastic. And he's gotten so good at doing Tucker Carlson that it's hard to even tell Tucker Carlson apart from him.
Are both of you murderers? Are both of you the same morally? To confuse murder, the intentional and deliberate murder of an innocent person who did nothing wrong, and the act of self-defense or retaliation, or the noble cause of stopping murderers to prevent future murder, to confuse those two, undermines Western civilization itself, actually. And you're being lied to categorize what's going on in Gaza as a genocide, as the intentional murder of innocents, rather than collateral damage in a war where the innocent...
Nah, this is the real Tucker, just like JD Advanced. I like your thinking.
...are obviously not the targets, but the terrorists hiding amongst them. The Hamas terrorist entities, and I know you've been told they're a political organization, but I promise you they're not, who've outfitted much of the Gaza Strip to be militarized, who've dug tunnels under the ground, not for bomb shelters for their innocent people, but to smuggle weapons and hostages and plan attacks against Israeli civilians, to Hamas terrorists who took many civilian homes in Gaza and put access points to their tunnels and stored weapons, and re-outfitted windows in civilian homes and infrastructure to fire rocket-propelled grenades at Israeli soldiers. Do they bear some responsibility?
Timbo Slice says, holy shit, I had you on in the background and legitimately thought this was the real Tucker Carlson. Yes.
For what happened after October 7th? What happened on October 7th exactly? Are there consequences for invading a sovereign country? Butchering 1,200 people intentionally? Murdering them? Setting their homes on fire? Raping them? Kidnapping them? Men, women, elderly? Intentionally? Not giving them back? Not surrendering? Do they have no agency at all? Like at all? If you're told that they don't and that they're not responsible, and that a country attempting to retrieve those hostages, rescue them, and bring those terrorists to justice isn't justified in doing so, and in the process, innocent people are killed in that crossfire, but they're not the intended targets. If you're told that pursuing those aims are genocidal, you're being lied to. Genocide. I mean, this word is obviously meant to confuse you, obviously. To confuse terms like murder and self-defense, tragedy and atrocity. And it's happened before. We all remember during COVID. You were told you were killing grandma by going outside. We were shown depictions of suffering, of horror. And we were told at the time, we were lied to actually, that if you went outside, you or your children, who could have been asymptomatic, that you'd be killing old people. And the same people who lied to you then are lying to you now, showing you depictions of war, images of war, and using these emotionally provocative images to paint a false narrative. After all, there's no...
To me, it's crazy, the Tucker Carlson situation, because I will repeat what I've said many times. Tucker had everybody. And I don't mean literally everybody, but I'm just saying, like, he had so many people on his side. He had the majority of MAGA he was with Trump and Vance and Turning Point. Like, he had everybody on his side, and he has pissed all of that away. And you have to ask yourself, why would he piss all that away? What would the benefit be to just turning your back on tens of millions of people? Why? And the only logical answer to that is that he clearly has to be getting a lot of money from some very powerful people. A lot.
War on earth in history, actually, that doesn't look comparable to what Gaza looks like. There's been many wars that are very just throughout history. Wars of self-defense, wars against aggression, against evil. They don't tell you the accounts of soldiers who went into towns that had been evacuated of civilians. Much of the infrastructure had to be destroyed because it was storing weapons, rockets. It served as terrorist infrastructure. Keep in mind, none of this death and destruction in the Gaza Strip would ever have happened if not for October 7th, willfully perpetrated by Hamas, knowing that it would provoke a response from Israel. And did they do anything to protect their innocence? Israel certainly did a lot to protect its innocence. It invested in infrastructure and defensive weapons. Hamas didn't do any of that. I mean, they certainly had the funds to do it from the international community to build up a defense.
How does, and again, I know he's memeing and he's making fun of Tucker, but you hear how on point he is. How does Tucker know all this? How did any of these people know all of this? Like, it's one thing to have an opinion. It's another thing to just straight up say what is actually happening in a place that you are not. You have no idea. You're not there. You don't have any insight. Like, so how do you know? It's almost like you're being fed talking points from a foreign entity. That's what it sounds like. It doesn't sound like this man is giving firsthand opinions of something he has knowledge on. It sounds like he is giving direct talking points that he received.
Defensive infrastructure to protect its civilians, but they didn't do that at all. In fact, they used their own civilians as their defense, forcing them to stay in harm's way during war, which is shameful, killing anyone who dared to speak up or collaborate with the evil Israelis to help this war end. Anyone who dared to collaborate with Israel or wants peace with Israel is brought out into the street and murdered, actually murdered, and no one says a word about it. Of course, no one does. Why would they? Speaking of genocidal, they don't tell you that IDF soldiers repeatedly find copies of Mein Kampf in home after home after home in Gaza or the West Bank, but they do. They do. And these false, ridiculous comparisons to actual genocides in history like Rwanda or the Holocaust, what happened in Germany, and nothing could be further from the truth. As if to say the Jews in Germany were a terrorist regime that were attacking innocent Germans.
Kurt Angle in a wig. That's pretty funny right there. Harley Dave says, can crazy Tucker guy destroy Tucker? Yes, that's how the internet works. All the insider sources tell me that's true. You know it is. Haha. What's up, Harley freaking Dave? Haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you here, brother. Hail to you. Rolling the Wretched for 20 says, hey, Jeremy, just checking to see if you're still gay. It's an old meme, but it still checks out. Love you, Fig. Right back at you, Rolling. Vegas, August 6th. It's going to be awesome.
And the Germans were simply retaliating, trying to stop a terrorist threat on their border. Did that happen in Germany? Confusing actual innocent people and actual perpetrators of murder, atrocity, and genocide, making false comparisons does a disservice to the victims of actual genocide. It certainly does. It does do that. But that doesn't matter, because when there's a narrative or an agenda to push, using provocative statements like murder or genocide when it suits you is the tactic that's being employed. And it is. The great irony here is not that Israel is creating conditions that are comparable or similar to Nazi Germany. Nothing could be further from the truth.
Nothing could be further from
but
the
rather,
truth.
No cultural force has created more conditions similar to pre-war Nazi Germany than the Tucker.
Slow news day. No, this is a news day that I piss off the anti-Israel crowd because it's in my quota. That's how I get paid from Israel. Like, in order to get my $7,000 a month, I have to piss off the anti-Israel crowd. So it's a very good news day.
Carlson show. And that's true. people who've continually questioned the atrocities and the history of the actual Holocaust in Nazi Germany, and even more so, wish to perpetrate another one today, have been welcome on my show repeatedly to talk to me, to laugh. And I've enjoyed their company. So no force has been greater for creating the conditions for another Holocaust than my show. And so you're being lied to, conflating every type of killing as murder, mischaracterizing it, confusing murder and self-defense, confusing aggression and retaliation, undermines Western civilization itself. Calling the efforts of the Israeli military to engage in urban warfare, the most difficult kind of warfare, actually, and calling that mass murder, while Israel has made every attempt to mitigate death, has the lowest civilian to combatant ratio in modern history, in modern warfare. Israel continually putting its soldiers and civilians in harm's way in order to reduce civilian casualties for Palestinians. And me characterizing that as mass murder, well, that's not rooted in reality at all, like at all. That's dishonest.
And by the way, if you've never seen this guy, he actually does a lot of this comedic stuff, roasting people. And I'm sure Mod's gonna be dropping links to his channel. This is the first time I've actually watched him on YouTube. I usually watch some of his Twitter stuff, but he's really freaking good. And he does a lot of different people, not just Tucker, but his Tucker is on point. I saw this one earlier. Thoughts on Dutton Ranch? First 4 episodes, I love it. It is right there with Landman. I still like Landman more, but I'm really liking the first 4 episodes of Dutton Ranch. I obviously love the Yellowstone universe, but yeah, it's very, very good so far. I didn't like the what's the one with Casey, the Marshalls show. I didn't like that first episode. So I just stopped. I didn't even think about giving that one a shot after that first episode. I thought it was terrible. Dutton Ranch is really good though. Really enjoying it. So we'll see where it goes, but so far I'm in after 4 episodes. I would recommend it to any Yellowstone fans for sure. Steven says that We Are Marshall is my favorite. Good sports movie right there. Good sports movie. What about the Mobland drama with Tom Hardy? Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I know that there was like an announcement that he had exited the show or whatever. And now I guess they're saying that he's, I guess he's not leaving the show. And there's a lot of, questions about his behavior and all this other stuff. And I don't buy any of that. Because here's the bottom line is like, there's this narrative that Tom Hardy is difficult to work with or something like that. A lot of actors are difficult to work with. So like the fact that the mainstream sites are reporting that Tom Hardy is difficult to work with tells me that there's something else going on there. I'm not saying he isn't difficult to work with. I'm saying he, among all other actors, are probably all difficult to work with in some capacity. So I don't know if it might have something to do with, I don't know if you guys remember this. This was a long time ago, but this is Tom Hardy right here. Video has this is 5 years ago, 4 million views. This is when a gay reporter asked Tom Hardy about his sexuality, and Tom Hardy basically told him to shut the F up. And I got a feeling that he probably doesn't like a lot of the Hollywood bullshit. Listen to this.
And we're an LGBT news organization. And our question is for Tom Hardy. In the film, your character Ronnie is very open about his sexuality, but given interviews you've done in the past, your own sexuality seems a bit more ambiguous. Do you find it hard for celebrities to talk to media about their sexuality?
What on earth are you on about?
I was referring to an interview given to Attitude Magazine a few years ago.
But what is your question?
I was wondering if you find it difficult for celebrities to talk about their sexuality.
I don't find it difficult for celebrities to talk about their sexuality. Are you asking me about my sexuality?
Sure.
Why?
Why?
Thank you.
Okay.
Yes. Goated response. This is how you have to respond to these idiots. This is it. Simple as that. They don't deserve anything else. They just deserve to be laughed at and shamed. And so I don't know. I don't know what the trouble is on Mobland. I liked season 1 of Mobland. I thought it was very good. Tom Hardy is the most important character in the show. Now, obviously, with everything happening, they claim that he got fired from the show, but now he's being brought back. They're saying he's difficult to work with. I have no idea. You've got Pierce Brosnan on the show, Helen Mirren. You got some other named people on it. So to have him kind of like singled out as this guy that's difficult to work with probably tells me that there's more to the story than that. But I hope he's still on it because he makes the show. He's fantastic. So we'll see. Back to Tucker.
Then disingenuous it is for Israel to go house to house to look for terrorists to seek them out, finding themselves in booby-trapped buildings as they're being fired upon by God knows who.
Hail
and they're
Harley
forced to
Dave.
make decisions, sacrifice their entire battalion, or call in an airstrike. And it's easy for me in those situations to condemn that sitting here comfortably in Maine. I'm constantly talking about how I don't want American soldiers to die for Israel. I don't. But I guess I do want Israeli soldiers to die for Israel. I do. Another area of deceptive language in this topic is how we talk about children in Gaza. Obviously, it's tragic when innocent children, actual children, are killed in a war. However, according to the Gaza Health Ministry, there's no distinction made between a child who's 5 or 6 versus a 16 or 17-year-old strapped with a rocket-propelled grenade or a weapon or a rocket launcher aimed at Israeli soldiers. And when those children are killed, they're factored into the statistics of the Gaza-run health ministry, who have every incentive to inflate those numbers. Now, a 16 or 17-year-old being forced.
Again, why do they, and the whole point of this is, why do these people care so much about something going on the other side of the world? And that's for the pro and the anti-Israel side of people. Why do they care so fucking much? Why are they so invested about somewhere that 99% of them have never gone and will never go? Why are they obsessed with it? And you have to ask that question as to what's the motivation behind it. Now, I think we already know what the motivation is for the pro-Israel people. We know what the motivation is. What's the motivation for the anti-Israel people? Why do they care so much? Why are they so invested? Why are they so passionate? Why does it matter to them? Now, obviously, there's a lot of stupid people on the internet that just believe all the bullshit they're told. But I'm talking about the people that are pushing the narrative in the first place. What is their motivation to talk about this shit and obsess over this all day long? And once you start asking those questions, you'll start getting closer to the actual answers by using common sense. That's all it takes, is a little bit of common sense. Got you, Zwani. Got you. But anyway, if you guys want to check him out, he's great. He actually had another upload that he did too on his channel recently, Young Turks.
I want to read to you a statement from a minister in the Lebanese government. Apparently, the Lebanese government is full of fools. And I mean that with my whole chest. And I'm not talking about Hezbollah, okay? They're awesome. Hezbollah is amazing. They're firing rockets at Israeli civilians daily. They've been doing so since October 7th, even though they have nothing to do with Gaza. And all the arguments you can make about Israel and the Palestinians have nothing to do with Hezbollah. Needless to say, they still attack Israel. And that kind of turns me on, because Israelis are disgusting. They're disgusting. It's so ridiculous. Well, Israel! Oh, we have to defend Israel.
Holy shit, this is on point right here.
They still attack Israel, and that kind of turns me on, because Israelis are disgusting. They're disgusting. It's so ridiculous. Well, Israel! Oh, we have to defend Israel. Oh, my God. Can we kiss? So I'm not talking about Hezbollah. Oh, yeah, they just continue to fire rockets at Israel. It's like, it's just so stupid. It's so ridiculous, okay? I'm talking about a minister in the Lebanese government who made a statement that said, our only path forward is peace with Israel. Should we make out? We need to find a way to coexist and stop pursuing the path of war. Stop being determined to eradicate Israel off the face of the earth and find a way to peacefully coexist. Disgusting. It's so ridiculous. Okay, it's so Stupid. Okay. Should we make out? No, Israel. And respect our neighbors in the Jewish state. Oh my. I'm sickened by these statements, sickened by these people. You're disgusting. And the world hates you. Israel, oh my God, we should kiss. Disgusting, Lebanon. You should be ashamed. And I'm not talking about Hezbollah. Because what Hezbollah stands for, and let's read a statement from Nasrallah before they took him out, which was a very sad day. He said that we need to fight the
His chunk Uyghur is so on point.
Yahud wherever they are, fight the Jews, destroy the Jewish state, and fight the Jews all around the world. Maybe all the Jews could gather in Israel. That would be easier, so we don't have to hunt them down one by one. That's what I'm talking about. He was a fighter. I feel that in my chest. Ooh. You want to make up? That's leadership. Israel. Israelis are disgusting. What Nasrallah is saying, that's progressive. It absolutely is progressive, okay? Totally.
This guy's great. Anyway, so I was sent a super chat about these yesterday, and I just didn't get around to watching them. So that's why I wanted to get these out of the way off rip. So thank you for the super chat letting me know about these. So that's why we watched it first, because, I care about the people. Harley Day says, nothing can be further from the truth. Haha. You know it's true because it is. Because you know it's true because it is. Thank you, Harley Dave. River Miles says, this Amy guy is basically the corrupt banker version of Tucker, only partial satire. River Miles says, I don't give an F about Israel or Palestine. MAGA. You and me both. Simple as that. So thank you, River Miles. And Scully in the house for a proper 199. Hail, Jeremy. Hail, chat. Happy Friday. Hope this makes everyone's day. Love the responses. Look at that, everybody. Look at that. You know what? We gotta check on this female representation for CobraCast, okay? Let's check on the female representation numbers. We have not checked on that. Are we up to 12% or not? All right. This is very important. Very important to know if we in fact are. Let's see. Boom, boom, boom. Back. How do you check the last? Okay, so 7 days and then 28 days. Oh my gosh, we've dropped. We're down to 10%. We're down to 10%. It's over. We're down to 10%, Zwanny and Scully. What are we supposed to do now? We've dropped. Channel's dead. Maybe the quartering was right. It's all over. Quartering was right. Hashtag quartering was right. Channel's dead. Nobody's watching. Yeah, man. I thought we had it, but clearly not. So it's over. Sausage party. Hold on. Ladies and gentlemen, on D-Day Cobra 2, okay, on the D-Day Cobra 2 channel, we have 11.7, if you can read that, 11.7% on the D-Day Cobra 2 channel. Let's freaking go. All right, we're in business. We're good. All right. And we got Madam Savvy in the chat as well. What's up, Madam Savvy? But listen, a proper 199 deserves a proper Sydney Sweeney, okay? Jeremy has another channel. Only 9 more. I only have 9 more. So that's about it. Not that big of a deal. So, and of course we will bring the red dress in the house because we have to, because it's mandatory. These are the rules. I don't make up the rules. We just have to follow the rules. Okay. We respect the rules of CobraCast. So there we have it right there. Thank you, Scully, as always. Chris for 50 says, hi, bud. Just joining. No idea what happened so far, but you, sir, are the Mossad. I know it, and you know it. Just admit it. We're all fucked. $50. Let's freaking go. I'll take it. Thank you, Chris. And by the way, I don't know what's going on either. I have no idea. And I'm the fucking host, and I have no clue what's happening. So Zwanny in the house says, damn it, Jeremy, better not be lying, but the 10% here are the best of the best. You know what? I will prove it, Zwanny. I will prove it. Zwanny keeping me in check. You see that? She's like, you better not be fucking lying. Hey, I feel a little bit intimidated right now. So we go back over to CobraCast. Okay. And or D-Day Cobra, the main 10.2 right there. 10.2. I don't know if it'll show it because it probably doesn't autofocus, but yeah, that's the 10.2 right there. But we're good. That's all right. That's all right. It's not about quantity, it's about quality. Okay. Candy T says female representation tax. Let's freaking go. Thank you, Candy T. Kate says, keeping the 10% going. Ladies showing up. Ladies are showing up. They don't give a damn. They said, we don't care. We're here. Madam Savvy, who made an interesting comment the other day. Pack it up. After he went straight from seeing Hassan in a hot tub, it hasn't been the same. So Madam Savvy made a comment the other day that confused me a little bit. Okay. I'm going to see if you guys can help me out with this one, okay? So Madam Savvy responding to someone on Twitter. And someone responded to Savvy and says, you jerk off to anime, dude. Savvy responded, says, no, I'm pretty sure I jerk off to my husband. And I'm like, what? So I responded. I'm like, hang on. I'm just, I was a little confused, but hey, not here to kink shame. So we'll just leave it at that. But hail to Madam Savvy. All right. There we have it. John freaking Murdoch 450 says, hey, Jeremy, if your main channel is 10%, D-Day Cobra 2 is at 11% or 11.7, does that mean that women can't handle you live? I'm going to use this as a compliment, and I'm going to use this as a positive. That is how we're going to manipulate those numbers. John freaking Murdoch. All right? That's exactly how we're going to do that. I'm okay with that. That's what we're going to manipulate those numbers to our advantage. And Harley Dave says, what for 50? Harley Dave says, what? He didn't even put the H in there. That's a response to Madam Savvy. I know that's a response to Madam Savvy. I know it is. Graham Robbins says, shout out to the 11% of the hardworking ladies, including Mrs. Robinson, who is working for free at the Veterans event tomorrow in Tacoma at the Tacoma Dome, as she does every year to help them find jobs, schooling, get free haircuts, etc. That's a legit round of applause right there. Thank you, Mrs. Robbins. We appreciate that. We appreciate you and everybody who volunteers your time for our veterans, because we would not be here. We would not have the opportunities we have. I would not have the freedom to be a complete retard on the internet if it were not for the veterans. So greatly appreciate her and all of the veterans. So round of applause right there. Thank you so much. Epic Reader says 10% represent. That's what's up. Hey, Scully. Thank you. Very appreciated, Graham Robbins. Look at that. The chick Beardo thought was a boy says, I'm still lurking. Hail the 10%. Let's freaking go. Can you believe this? Beardo, the chick that Beardo thought was a boy. What the hell, Beardo? What are we doing? Delona with the 10% tax. Let's freaking go. Wraith Leader says, did you hear about the situation with alpha gal and ticks that have been popping up everywhere? And it just so happens to be funded by Billy Boy Gates. I am not familiar with that. Does anybody have a link or something like that? Can you tag me? I am not familiar with that at all. So yeah, with Bill Gates always involved in something, but we did get an update from President Trump on Iran. Let's check that out right now. This is a few hours ago. Trump's big decision. Peter Doocy reveals latest on final decision with deal in Iran.
But first, breaking tonight, we're waiting to see whether President Trump will agree to or reject the latest peace plan with Iran. The deal would extend the ceasefire by 60 days as new talks are held on the Islamic Republic's nuclear program. The devil, as always, is in the details. Senior White House correspondent Peter Doocy starts us off tonight with the very latest, live from the North Lawn. Good evening, Peter.
Good evening, Brett. The countdown is on. President Trump is here at the White House, where he says he will soon make a final determination about this proposed deal with Iran after a 2-hour-long meeting in the Situation Room with his national security team.
There's a couple of points in the post that really give us cause for optimism.
The points in the post: the Hormuz Strait must be immediately open, no tolls. Ships caught in the strait due to our amazing and unprecedented naval blockade, which will now be lifted, may start the process of heading home. Enriched materials, sometimes referred to as nuclear dust, will be unearthed by the United States in close coordination and conjunction with the Islamic Republic of Iran, plus the International Atomic Energy Agency, and destroyed. No money will be exchanged until further notice. That's key because, according to the New York Times, earlier in the negotiations, Tehran had demanded reparations for bombardment damage that some Iranian officials estimate at $300 billion to $1 trillion. Two diplomats briefed on the latest draft called it an international investment fund, which the United States would help facilitate in the event of a final deal. And if diplomacy fails...
When I talk to your commanders, when I talked to all of you this morning, I know you're ready. And that gives me confidence. That gives the president confidence. And it should give the American people confidence.
Military experts hope the U.S. will negotiate a way to verify Iran's claims about its nuclear program.
That's the whole thing, is how do you verify this? They lie all the time. That's all they do. They lie more than the Democrats at this point. That's how bad it is. So how do you verify that? And I don't know the answer to that, clearly.
Even though Iran has historically skirted safeguards put in place by international bodies.
I think we need to make sure we don't let our guard down. We keep watching for them because you can't trust them.
For now, Iran's parliament speaker claims no action will be taken before the other side acts. But U.S. officials claim there is a real substance beneath Iran's bluster.
I think one of the things that has gone unappreciated and unnoticed here is this is the first time the Iranians have been willing to discuss the nuclear subject.
But now tonight, in some wires that are crossing, the Iranians claim they are only focused on ending the war, not negotiating over their nuclear program. That's coming from a spokesperson for Iran's foreign ministry. We don't know if that means they will never negotiate over the nuclear program.
Heir to the Empire says, I don't know why Trump is continuing to try to deal with the IRGC. I mean, I'm not going to tell you that I know the answer to that question. I can speculate as far as, you know, we have to, again, I try to just apply common sense to everything. And so, I mean, Donald Trump is obviously a, you know, historic deal maker. He knows how to negotiate with anyone better than anyone. I would imagine that he is making them make their own bed is what it feels like. I mean, it seems like he probably understands that they are not going to talk to him in good faith. They're not going to negotiate in good faith. So he's probably forcing them to make their own bed and forcing them to back themselves into a corner. That's what I would assume, but I would, it's only me speculating.
Or if they're just going to wait until the war is officially over. Brett.
Here we go again. We'll follow that. Peter, also today, there were a pair of rulings by federal judges against the president today. What happened?
Yes, first, this morning, a federal judge ruled that the administration cannot move any money for the time being into the $1.8 billion weaponization fund, which is meant to pay out people who think they have been victimized by the federal government. Then this afternoon, a separate federal judge ruled that President Trump's name has to come off the Trump Kennedy Center, and the administration cannot move forward with planned renovations that would close the center for 2 years. And that is too much for the president. In a very long post, he concludes with this: I have instructed the Department of Commerce to make all necessary arrangements with Congress to allow a full and complete transfer of this institution, giving them the responsibility for its operation, maintenance, and management. And so his argument in this long post is basically, if they're going to take my name off it and they're not going to let me fix it, it's not worth my time. Right.
So that's the latest. Well, I mean, that was about 3 or 4 hours ago. So I don't know if we have any more updates right there, but I imagine it's going to be a pretty busy weekend for President Trump and the administration as these negotiations continue to, work out. We have this update right here.
Fox News alert: the president just spent 2 hours inside the Situation Room with his top generals and national security team, where he was supposed to have made a final determination on the Iran war. Before going inside of the room, POTUS said this: Iran will never have a nuclear weapon, and the nuclear dust will be unearthed by us. 47 adding the United States is the only country, along with China, with the mechanical capability of doing so. The terms of the first phase of the deal are that the strait must be immediately open. No tolls, nothing.
So that's that's generally what we just heard. And so while all that's going on, I do have a story for the Nothing Ever Happens crowd, because they really, 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 really like to cry. So for the Nothing Ever Happens crowd, if you remember yesterday, okay, right here, remember this guy?
Come on, children, your life all day. Put it, my boy. I have your face, motherfucker. You're dead. Dead. Your voice to back up and put your stick out, because I'm about that life. You say come on? You say come on, right? Yeah, it's small now. Put your stick out. Tell your voice to back up.
So this Antifa guy threatened. Did you hear? Threatened his wife, his kids, everything. Been arrested. Trump's DOJ just raided and arrested the man who was caught on video threatening the lives of an ICE agent and his family outside of Newark. Just in, Trump FBI raids the house and carries out a felony arrest against the leftist terrorist who threatened to kill ICE agents and their families on camera. Let's freaking go. Now, the reason I bring that up is because we need more of that. We need more of that big time. Now, it's nice to have one little, example here, an example there, and I'm glad that we have it. But we need a lot more, okay? We need a lot more than that. And I say that because there's a lot going on with this Freedom 250 celebration in D.C., where many of the musicians are pulling out of the show. Now, some of it, Martina McBride, I'm not even sure. I don't know why Martina McBride was ever part of this thing. But now Bret Michaels has, pulled out of it, and others. And Tim Pool actually had a take that I agreed with. So let's listen in.
This summer in Washington, D.C., we are going to have the Freedom 250 event series. This is a celebration of 250 years of American existence, and super awesome. Very, very excited. Apparently, the Treasury is working on a $250 bill with Trump on it, and I'm just like, let's go, because I want a $250 bill. Just because carrying cash sucks.
Yeah.
Inflation is miserable.
Okay, we don't care, Tim.
New hundred, whatever. Or at events, at business. Plus, it's out of Freedom 250. Out of 9, there's 4 people left, and they're not particularly good. This is miserably bad. It's miserably bad.
It really is. And Tim's point, where I agree with him, is if the Trump DOJ is just going to continue to let these leftists get away with this, then it's on Trump. basically, you've got a situation where these people are more scared of these leftists that are threatening them than the fear that they have for Trump. They don't have the fear they have for Trump that they have for the leftists. That's it.
Guys, I'm gonna let you in on a little secret, okay? Me and a crew here at Timcast, we're trying to figure out exactly what our plans are moving forward with this year. We got a bunch of big plans. We're working on a studio in DC. We've actually been working on the DC studio for a long time. I know that we're in the DC metro, but we're outside of DC. So we want the issue is we can get access to I'll put it like this. There's been a few instances where high profile celebrities have been passing through DC and said,
maybe Trump can hire Timcast to do the music.
We don't have time to drive out to your studio outside of DC. If you were in DC, we'd pop by and say hi, and maybe you get 15, 30 minutes, maybe even the full show. And so we were like, okay, let's do this. So we've been working on a bunch of big plans. And in that, we were having a meeting and we're like, what's happening for the 4th of July, America 250? Let's go. And nothing. I'm not kidding. We pulled I got the calendar pulled up for you. Nothing. They just say it'll be like it'll be patriotic events and fireworks. And we're like, yeah, I'm sure it'll be really good.
What worries me about this is, do you know what I think is going to happen? I think they'll probably roll Kid Rock out there once again. And you're like, really? Like, is that all we got? Is that all we got is Kid Rock? Like, listen, Devil Without a Cause was a great album back in the day, okay? It was awesome, all right? And I think his second album was pretty good too, but it's probably going to be Kid Rock again.
Good. I'm sure it'll be a great performance across the board. But from what we gathered, talking to people that we know in and around DC, the plans seem fairly flat. And I'm not trying to be a dick, but they do. Now, there's going to be celebrations all over the country. It's going to be really, really fun. But in DC, at least, we found there's nothing to do. You know, we were like, hey, let's do something really cool, and we'll go to DC. There's nothing going on. At least there is nothing stated, scheduled that we can do. So, you know.
Jeremy, Kid Rock has the balls to perform. Listen, I know, I get it. I'm not really hating on Kid Rock because I like Kid Rock. I like some of his older music. But I don't have anything against him. But it's just that it's all I could do is call it like I see it. Kid Rock just doesn't turn the needle anymore. You know, he just doesn't. Like, I respect him. I appreciate that he's supporting Trump and he's out there, but he just doesn't turn the needle, you know? And that's just, you know, if you're doing this big celebration, you need more than him.
Kind of just shrugged and said, okay, well, they're doing the UFC fight, I believe, in 2 weeks.
Ryan Lopez says, I like him and I don't like you. I mean, honestly, I respect the hell out of you for saying this. Like, I really don't mind. Like, you're just like, I like him and I don't like you. And you're like, I appreciate that. So thank you. No one else is stepping up. I agree. I mean, yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. Harley Dade says, hi, Jeremy. How was your weekend? Got any new memes lately? Are you avoiding drama like the Chad you are? I don't know if I'm avoiding drama. I just, don't really care about it, but if there's drama we can get into it at the same time. Sexy Moon Goddess for 50 says, official lurker of the 10%. Keep up the great work, Jeremy. Thank you, Sexy Moon Goddess. Hail to you. Thank you for the support. I appreciate it. You provide, says, Jeremy, us 10%ers will never leave you. I know you won't. And listen, for the record, like, it didn't mean that we lost anyone. It just meant that we probably gained a few more people that were in the male audience. And so it kind of offset those numbers because we're talking about an 11% drop to a 10% drop, like 10.7 or whatever. So the ladies are still here. They ain't going nowhere.
So that's 2 weeks before the 4th of July and a little bit more than 2 weeks. And there's some stuff, after and around, but on the day of, Well, they put together this show for Freedom 250, and now a bunch of the acts have pulled out. Now we're learning why. At first, many of the artists made announcements saying, I was not informed. They played this dirty game where they said, I was not informed that this was going to be politically divisive and don't want to be involved in whatever this is. There's a truth. And I want to give a shout out to Bret Michaels. I think it's a little cowardly to pull out. I don't want to be a dick to him because he at least admitted the real reason. Leftist terroristic threats. The death threats that he and his crew have received from far left extremists has resulted in him saying the safety of our crew, we can't be involved in this. Now, don't get me wrong. He played it's something divisive, but then he says, and they're threatening to murder me and my crew. And I don't want to live that way.
And to be fair, listen, I'm not a huge Bret Michaels fan. Blazin had some pretty decent songs back in the day. Every Rose Has Its Thorn is an amazing song. He did win The Apprentice. But when you got leftists that are just, we have a country full of leftists that can just threaten you. They can just threaten you and get away with it. No one's holding them accountable. Literally, MAGA person was locked up for memes. A MAGA person was locked up for memes. Leftists are threatening people's life, and nothing is happening to them. Why?
This is an untenable situation. And you know what? I'm sorry. I don't have sympathy for Donald Trump. You know, we had Will Chamberlain on the show the other day, and he's a big Trump fan. And he was just saying that in his view, it's like he wakes up.
Will Chamberlain is a big Trump fan? Wasn't Will Chamberlain a DeSantis bro? I remember Will Chamberlain being a DeSantis bro. Maybe I'm wrong, but I remember him being a DeSantis bro.
Up every day, and he's like, things are going great. And you know, I can respect to a certain degree that you like what Trump is doing with, say, like the USAID stuff is massive. But gas is really expensive right now, and we need relief. Regular Americans need relief. We can't live this way. And, you know, there's a lot of people that say Tim really doesn't understand.
Not Wilt Chamberlain, Will Chamberlain, not Wilt the Stilt. No.
I buy gas too, okay? I buy groceries. I go grocery shopping. We order DoorDash sometimes. Prices are insane. I talked about it. We ordered Taco Bell for the crew, and it's like 3 taco boxes, and it's like $500. Maybe not literally, but, you know, it gets a...
Tim, did you just complain about Taco Bell being $500? How much Taco Bell did you order? $500?
Expensive. For us, certainly we are running a business. We do well at this business. I can see ad dollars. I can see the hits. The economy is not doing so well. But, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. So we want to advocate for proper changes. We want to root for Trump to solve these problems. We want things to get better. But I'm going to tell you, man, we have been begging.
Like, didn't he just say that he doesn't feel sorry for Trump? He said, I don't feel sorry for Trump. And his point was, and listen, I don't disagree with his point, but to say you don't feel sorry for Trump, it's like, well, then I don't feel sorry for you, millionaire, who had to order Taco Bell. Are we supposed to feel bad for you, Tim, because you spent you didn't spend $500 on Taco Bell, by the way. You might have spent $50, $75 on Taco Bell. Are we supposed to feel sorry for you because the millionaire who literally can write these fucking purchases off on a tax write-off? Are we supposed to feel sorry for you?
Begging the administration, anyone, to do anything about these death threats, these terroristic threats that I experience, that Savannah Hernandez has experienced, that Andy Ngo experiences, and it just never stops. They won't do anything about it. They couldn't even get charges to stick on that woman who was banging, Abu Ghazala or whatever. She's banging on a federal vehicle. Right now, you got federal contract. I don't know if this guy's a contractor or an employee, but somebody working at the ICE facility in Newark
Tim is yelling at us now. Fake passion. I mean, the thing about Tim he obviously Tim is a whole different level than somebody like me. I'm sure security is a huge concern of his. I really do. I do also, like, I'm in this YouTube space, so the fact that he publicizes anytime he has a threat, that tells me he's not as serious as he claims he is about it, because he likes to publicize it every time that he gets one. You know what I mean?
Bring federal authority to the terrorists. Okay, am I supposed to have confidence in this administration? Am I supposed to believe that if we stay the course, things improve? Brett Michaels outright said they're threatening to murder him. And now, Trump's big event has lost half of its performers, more than half, actually, 5 out of 9. 5 out of 9. And
now there's one person that apparently is still going to perform. I didn't see the video yet. This is funny if this is true. Let's see here. So let me pull this up. Right here, Vanilla Ice is supposed to be there, and apparently Vanilla Ice is not going to drop out. Vanilla Ice joins TMZ Live explaining why he won't drop out of Freedom 250 in DC.
So what do you think about this? That, it's a birthday party and now it just feels super political.
Oh man, I'm not gonna get dragged into that. I'm here to party with America, man. Music is made to bring people together.
Hell yeah.
And that's what we're here to do, man. We're just gonna represent the 90s. I don't take anything too serious. I don't think anybody else should. I think that we should just dance. It's life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And you got to get out and pursue it with dance. It's all about just us making it this far and kind of bringing people together. And that's what this is about. I don't think that it should be about any political thing or anything like that. I don't even vote, so I don't even care. And if Biden called up, and he said, my daughter's getting married, we need Vanilla Ice, I'd go play. It's not a big thing. You play for your fans. We don't get a chance to pick our fans. They pick us. And
this is a perfect answer. This is a perfect answer.
I'll go play for Putin, and I'll play in Iran if you want. It don't matter. There's fans everywhere. Music is not political, man. It's universal. It just brings people together.
Over the years, we've covered these stories where, people, big celebrities, singers have gone to Saudi Arabia, other countries that are problematic in terms of human rights. It seems like when you do it outside the country, it's fair game. But when you do it in the United States, it really becomes divisive. And I just mentioned all the people who have bailed from this, and they're bailing because they think that this has that Trump stamp on it.
Well, that's a stupid person responding that way. And I know there are people doing that because they're absolute clowns, but there's nothing political about this event. There's weak people that are being questioned by their friends, and then they tuck their tail and run.
And that Trump stamp is everywhere now, and now it's going to be on $250 bills, it looks like.
Let's go.
As well as building and arches and ballrooms and all this stuff. So people are saying they don't want that stamp on their forehead.
Well, some people are probably getting it tattooed too. It's all about not taking anything too serious, man. And everybody's opinionated. And it seems like the world is like a snow globe today. It's all shaken up, man. I'm from the 80s and 90s. We didn't take all this mess so serious. I mean, we were all wearing Z Cavricis and, it was serious. We had fanny packs and ripped our back seats out and put in subwoofers. Come on, man. This is a celebration of America.
Vanilla Ice is crushing this. Like, how did he? I haven't followed Vanilla Ice for a long time, but this is a perfect answer.
America, 250, the birthday of our country that we were born in. Come on, enjoy the dancing. Don't take it so serious. We're just entertainers, man. Just get out, shut up, and play. That's what I say. And it's funny because all the people, they're all my friends. Like, we're playing here tonight. They're all on this tour with me.
Where are you? Where are you now?
We're in Bangor, Maine tonight. So it's awesome. But like, Young MC, everybody that bailed out on this, they're all out here with me. It don't matter, man. We don't have.
Are they talking to you about it?
No, it's not even a big deal. Everybody makes their own decision on what they feel like, however it works. But I don't think that anybody should take this serious, including them. I think everybody should just go dance, It's just music. What's the big deal, man? We're just entertainers.
What a perfect answer. Holy shit. I never thought that I would have the most perfect response from Vanilla Ice. And yet here we are. That was absolutely insane. Wow. River Miles says Dan Vass for America 250. Maybe. You guys want that? You want Dan Vass to show up? Grapthar's Hammer says, did you see the hilarious responses to the White House Democrats complaining we're spending billions on mass deportation? I did not see that one. I'll have to check that out. We got Basket City for 20 and says nothing. And then we got Stormbreaker says, Jeremy, please play Trump YMCA. Long work week, brother. I need a pick me up. You know what? We're going to do just that because why wouldn't we? Why wouldn't we?
Yourself off the ground. I said, young man, 'cause you're in a new town. There's no need to be unhappy, young man. There's a place you can go. I said, young man, when you're short on your dough, you can stay there. And I'm sure you will find many ways to have a good time. It's fun to stay at the
Let's go, Hailstorm Breaker. Appreciate you, bro. Hey, real quick, this just happened, so I think we're gonna have to react to it live. New Odyssey trailer just dropped. Yeah. New Odyssey trailer just dropped. We have to respond. Here is the new Odyssey trailer, everybody. All right, not a lot of diversity. Okay. All right. Oh, they're going into the cave. Oh, no! The Cyclops! Oh, no!
Please and thank you.
Wait! If you stop stuffing my men into your couch, you can have this entire pitcher of dog water! Deal!
I farted into the couch cushion. He's blinded by extreme pink eye. I guess he has pink eye again.
Father, strike down the men that have ruined my chance at becoming president! Oh no, it's Vance's daddy, Peter Thiel.
Well, there you have the new Odyssey trailer. What did you guys think? BMCCB for 20 says, sorry, I was mowing the lawn. Did I miss the grift? As long as I'm live, you never miss the grift, okay? You never miss it. Hail to you, BMC. CB in the house. Thank you. Appreciate it, as always. Harley Day says, it sure would be nice if the Democrats stopped being so demonic and evil. It would, but that's not going to happen anytime soon, because I don't know if you guys saw what happened, but this story surrounding the New York Giants is absolutely ridiculous. So, starting quarterback for the New York Giants, Jackson Dart, introduced President Trump at a rally a couple weeks ago. And that has created a firestorm. This is insane. And man, my attitude is always, it's not just about politics. It's everything, dude. Like, I will never let people shame me or anything into saying or doing anything I don't want to do. I don't care. My job is to be honest with people. That's it. That's all I can be. You know, whether it's stuff in the political world, whether it's stuff in the entertainment world. Remember the whole Switch 2 thing? People are like, I can't believe you're supporting Nintendo. I'll buy 5 now. Go fuck yourself. I don't care. You know, the Odyssey coming out, I'm still going to go see the Odyssey. Still interested to see what the hell they're going to do. I think it could be a disaster, and I'll give my honest opinion on it. But yeah, I'm going to tell you what I think, and I'm never going to be told that I can't give an opinion or do whatever, just like I'll never tell people what they can or can't do. But this situation with the New York Giants is crazy. We're over on Black Conservative Perspectives channel. Hail to Greg. Look at this.
Last week, you had the Giants quarterback, Jackson Dart, join you on stage at a rally. And as predicted, I think we could all predict it, all of the haters, all the crazy people came out for him, showed him a lot of animosity for being on stage with you. Do you have any idea why it is that the Trump derangement syndrome with some of these people is so strong that you live rent-free in their heads and they can't help themselves but to be outraged about somebody joining you on stage?
Well, first of all, I wish I looked just like Jackson. This is a guy. I said, is he a male model or what? He's a handsome guy, like a beautiful guy, and conservative guy. He said, I love you, sir. And
why does Trump have to make it sound so gay? Like, why?
I didn't know he was doing it, but he's potentially a great quarterback. He's a young boy. He had just really started. But when he's in a game, he moves the team. And I didn't know him, but I watched him a little bit, and he really moves the team. He's got tremendous potential. If he stays healthy, he's going to be great. So when Jackson gets harassed a little bit, he's also loved more because we have more people than they do. And a lot of the people that you think, like people in Los Angeles, wealthy people I see them all the time. They're hitting me a little bit, and they meet me and they said, sir, I voted for you. I said, I know, I can tell.
Massive Junk, the best. You remember, and as soon as I saw your comment, I had to pull up his comments about Arnold Palmer. The fact that President Trump at a rally said this is truly amazing. But here is President Trump at a rally talking about Arnold Palmer's junk. One of one. There will never be another like Trump.
You know why? The home of Arnold Palmer. This was the home of my friend Arnold Palmer. And he loved Latrobe. He turned out to be one of the greatest golfers in the world. But Arnold Palmer was all man. And I say that in all due respect to women, and I love women. But this is a guy that was all man. This man was strong and tough. And I refuse to say it, but when he took showers with the other pros, they came out of there, they said, oh my God, that's unbelievable. I had to say it.
Trump is. There ain't nobody like Trump, man. Nobody.
You guys voted for me. I can tell you people on television that knock me all the time voted for me.
All right, guys. So we got to follow up on our coverage of the Jackson Dart situation, the drama surrounding the New York Giants quarterback introducing the president of the United States. Okay, because apparently that is a sin, right? It is a sin. You cannot do it if you are a professional athlete. You're going to get a whole lot of backlash from the mob. Okay, you're going to get accused of basically hurting black people.
So what's interesting here is that the New York Giants, like Harbaugh, their coach, John Harbaugh, I think he's a Trump guy. Jackson Dart introduces Trump, but then you have this rookie who's basically making it a race issue. And then you've got all of the black ESPN woke reporters basically calling Jackson Dart a racist.
If you introduce the president of the United States as a white quarterback, you are hurting and betraying black people, right? It apparently is a statement on how you feel about black people if you support President Trump, according to the woke revolutionaries.
Let this be example number 2,000,001 of why just because somebody appears to love black culture don't mean they really fuck with black people. And by that, I mean this, is that everybody was giving Jackson Dart the swag pass and the cookout class because he iced out, because he do his little end zone dances. And there was this immediate rush to be like, oh, he one of us, so he invited to the cookout. And when I say they don't mess with black people, meaning that it's not disqualifying for them to associate themselves with somebody who is bigoted, who is racist, who constantly traffics in white supremacist talking points.
You're literally trying to look like a white woman, Jamel Hill. You're trying to look like a white woman right here in this clip.
Carter is a black man and a Muslim, so it wasn't a surprise that he had a problem with Jackson Dart aligning himself with Trump. But again, I just wanted to remind y'all, doing a couple dances, listening to our music, knowing some rap lyrics does not mean you get any free passes, any cookout passes, or none of that. So
who's looking for that? Like, you on one hand, you say, respect us, respect our culture, stop being scared of black folks. And then somebody listens to rap music and hangs out with a couple of black people, and you're like, nobody invited you. You're like, shut up.
Oh, go tell your manager this is a friendly PSA. This was an unforced error by Jackson Dart.
What? She basically looks like she's trying to pull the Beyonce look off.
Again, Donald Trump is historically unpopular. You are the quarterback of the New York Giants. What was the point? What is the upside in appearing at this rally?
I think when you know the history of this president and you know the biases of this president, for a certain community, the black community, for me, this feels personal.
So one of his teammates, a rookie who has not played a single game, Abdul Carter, tweeted that he thought the video of Dart and the president was AI. And then he asked, what are we doing here, man? Ironically, Carter's idol growing up was a linebacker named Lawrence Taylor, a Hall of
Abdul Carter. Your hero growing up was Lawrence Taylor. Now, again, let's make this clear. This guy has never played a down for the Giants, for the New York Football Giants. He hasn't done it. Yet he's already causing controversy on controversy on controversy. And his hero was Lawrence Taylor.
Famer. He even wanted to wear his number, but that number's retired. But I don't remember Dart tweeting about any of this.
I grew up a Democrat, and I've always been a Democrat until I met this man right here. I'll tell you what. He will not have to worry about nobody in my family.
All right, so Abdul Carter did not tweet about Lawrence Taylor introducing Donald Trump. That's Donald Trump and Lawrence Taylor. By the way, here I am with Lawrence Taylor just recently, a legend. Both.
For those that don't know, if you don't follow sports, there is a very strong argument that Lawrence Taylor is the single greatest football player to ever step on a field. I don't think there's a definitive take on that. And I'm not saying I would say he's the greatest, but there's a strong argument that Lawrence Taylor is the greatest player. I would put Jerry Rice in that conversation. I would put Barry Sanders in that conversation. I would put Tom Brady in that conversation. Lawrence Taylor certainly would be, if not the greatest ever, at least the greatest defensive player ever, or at least in the conversation. So he's definitely up there. He's definitely up there.
Of them. One member of the New York media, though, actually did make sense. Boomer Esiason said that Jackson Dart did nothing wrong. Take a look.
This was a real error on the part of Abdul Carter, not on the part of Jackson Dart.
Correct.
Jackson Dart was asked to do something to introduce the president of the United States. How many people get an opportunity to do something like that, regardless of who the president is?
Correct.
To put this out like a child on social media is ridiculous. And then when I heard, yeah, we spoke man to man. Yeah, there was only one man on that call, and that was Jackson Dart.
Yeah, so you see that, you heard that. A whole lot of drama, a viral story over something that honestly should have been
It's nothing. It's a nothing story. But these leftist lunatics are going to continue to blow shit out of proportion because this is what they do. And until you treat them like the children that they are, they're going to continue to do it. You have to let these people know we're not going to tolerate your bullshit. It's as simple as that. If you make them think that what they're doing is okay, they're going to continue to do it. This is childlike behavior. Treat them like that.
Non-news story, but it is a news story because apparently, according to leftists, if you are a celebrity or a professional athlete, you are demanded to speak out and to make your opinions heard, right? Except if you speak out and support something or someone or a president that the left does not agree with. And I'm going to address some of these very stupid arguments that I've heard from leftists trying to mental gymnastics their way through rationalizing why is it that it's not okay for Jackson Dart to introduce the president, even though he did it in his own time, right? During the off season, right? Again, it's just funny how you're encouraged to speak out and to use your platform, again, when it supports the left, but when it comes to anything that the left disagrees with, well, it's a problem, right? If you use your platform to express your beliefs. So with that being said, the team obviously has to address the drama to the media.
Little Orphan Funkhauser says Abdul was the 3rd overall pick last season, by the way, Fig. Well, so was Trent Richardson. Trent Richardson was the 3rd overall draft pick too. How'd that work out? I don't care I don't care if he was number 1. He has not stepped on the field.
And there are no apologies, right? I'm glad to say that there's no groveling. You don't hear Jackson Dart or the coach of the New York Giants, John Harbaugh, who's also a Trump supporter, right? You don't hear any type of groveling to the mob, which I love. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this.
John, just to clarify, you said you knew that Jackson was going to meet the president and shake his hand. Did you know that it was going to be in a public way introducing the president?
No, but it doesn't matter. You know, I mean, I'm not worried about it. I'm not.
Oh, he has already played one season. Is that what you were trying to say? Oh, okay. Well, I don't pay attention to the fucking Giants anyway.
I'm not into all those details about it. It's not something that concerns me.
Right? Right? Like, I mean, seriously. It's not during the season.
There
it's
he
in
is,
the
right
off-season.
there.
That's what these people don't understand. That's what blows my mind about this story, bro. Like, literally, if any athlete introduces Barack Obama,
He did already play poorly. Well, that didn't even further emphasizes my point then. It goes back to the Randy Moss argument, and I've often used Randy Moss as a perfect example. When you are great like Randy Moss, you can put up a lot of headaches. And that was Randy Moss. When Randy Moss was in Minnesota, Randy Moss was a headache. Guess what? Randy Moss was worth the headache. Maybe the single most talented football player I've ever seen, Randy Moss, along with maybe Barry Sanders. So he created a lot of problems, though, but he was worth every damn problem.
Obama or any athlete introducing Joe Biden or anything like that, it would be a non-story. Nobody would care. Nobody on the right would care. Conservatives wouldn't care. We wouldn't care, right? Like nobody would care. Okay. But when it comes to this, again, for whatever reason, these people are so upset, right? So this is Abdul Carter, who was one of the individuals who was upset, and he's addressing the media, and clearly he's still salty about his teammates supporting somebody he doesn't like.
So first off, I want to say that some things are bigger than football.
Go fuck yourself immediately. Go fuck yourself immediately with this comment.
And this is one of those things. Jackson is one of our leaders. He's the face of our franchise. He not only represents himself and what he does, but he represents all of us. And that goes for anybody who wears a Giants uniform. But if he chooses to align himself with a man like President Trump, it's my responsibility, based on what I believe and what I stand on, to not only show my teammates that I'm against that, but to show the world.
Wow.
And that doesn't mean that we have to spread hate. It doesn't mean that me and Jackson hate each other or we have beef. I sit next to Jackson every day, every team meeting, we close, we talk. You know, we just, as long as we make sure we got the same goal as a team and our goals align, which they do, and I feel like that's all that matters. So I just want to move past this and yeah, that's it.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. We can't move past it because you keep attacking the president, which is fine. If you don't like the president, cool. But understand, he's using OTAs, right? So he's using the team platform to attack the president, right? To express his political opinions, right? He said, well, Jackson Dart is the face of the team, and everything he does is a representation of us. And if he supports a man like President Trump, right, a man like President Trump, that's what he said, then it is my obligation to speak out. Again, this guy is using the Giants platform, right? He's at OTA.
Correct.
They're training. At a press conference, he is using it in order to express his political opinion. That is fundamentally different than Jackson Dart in his own free time introducing the president at a rally that has absolutely nothing to do with the Giants, right? But this has everything to do with the Giants, and he's using this platform to trash the president. Anybody who pretends like they don't understand the fundamental difference between what Abdul Carter is doing here versus Jackson Dart, they're not being serious, right? Like clearly they're obtuse and they are not actually trying to have a good faith conversation. And most of the criticisms of Jackson Dart are not good faith. They're not. It's just them being upset and being mad because Jackson Dart is a white boy with some swag, right? He's white and he carries himself in a way that, black people like, right? And they're upset and they feel betrayed. They feel hurt because the white man might not like them the way that they want, right? That's what it comes down to. I'm telling you, a lot of these people who are so upset, so hurt, is because Jackson Dart, being a white quarterback with some swag, expressing his political opinion, right, or supporting the president is an indication that he might not love.
Yeah, like Saquon Barkley was at the White House with Trump. Does he have to apologize?
Of Negroes the way that Negroes want to be loved so badly from the white man. I'm serious. That's why these people are so upset. That's why they're so hurt, because a lot of these so-called pro-blackity blacks, a lot of these so-called I'm black and I'm proud people, they want a hug from the white man, right? They want that hug, okay? They want love and acceptance. And if they feel like the white man does not accept them or love them the way that they want to be loved, they get so hurt, okay? They're in shambles, right? That's what's going on here.
Yep.
That's exactly what's going on, right? This is why, all these people that run around talk about white supremacy, this is why they can't leave the white man alone, right? This is why they don't want the white man to separate, okay? Understand, it's okay for black people to segregate themselves from whites.
Greg is preaching, man. I mean, he's just, and his point about, Abdul Carter using his time with a Giants shirt on, in front of the media to talk bad about the president is completely different than Jackson Dart on his own time introducing the president of the United States. It's completely different. However, even if those things are different, it doesn't fucking matter. When I was growing up, when you were talking about sports, athletes, whatever, the president was respected as the president. It didn't matter if it was a Republican president or a Democratic president. President was respected. The office was respected. So if a president was making an appearance at a baseball game or a football game or whatever, he was respected. ESPN would reference the president as the president. It was never a problem. And it wasn't a problem when Barack Hussein Obama was president. It was never a problem until Trump became president. It's essentially where we're at. That's as simple as that. That's when it became a problem. John freaking Murdoch for 50 says, hey, Jeremy, I'm begging you, please show me more stuff that melts my brain cells. Who needs those IQ points? Let them melt away. John, the fact that you've been watching me this long and you've sent me this much money means that I have clearly melted plenty of your brain cells, and I will continue to melt away because you've lost the ability to make any rational decisions, which is why you support me. And I appreciate it. Thank you, John freaking Murdoch.
Well, that's just racial progress, right? That's just social justice. But if the white man say, I don't want to be around you blacks, all of a sudden, well, that's hate and bigotry, right? If you understand how this works, right? This is why you have somebody like Jamel Hill, who again talks about racism so much, hate and bigotry so much, but this is why she gets so national.
Jamel Hill is one of the most retarded people in the history of sports media. It's insane.
Television with a blonde wig, right?
There it
colonized as hell.
Yep.
She takes her colonized self on national television and boohoo whines and crowds about hate and bigotry. But yet she's running around in a blonde wig, trying her best to look like a white woman, right? Because she wants love and acceptance from white people. That's what she wants. Okay? This is why all of these soul sisters, the Ketanji Brown Jacksons, the Kamala Harrises, the Ilhan Omars, etc., this is why they're all with white men, right? Don Lemon, this is why they love the Great White Pipe.
So Greg is cooking. He's less than 3,000 subs from 1 million. So hopefully everybody has subscribed if you have not. Mar Millen says, truthy on the melted brain from watching, supporting the king fig of the snake pit. There's my boy Mar Millen in the house. Let's freaking go. Hail to you, brother. Thank you, Mar Millen, as always. And John freaking Murdoch for $100 says, damn right. Thank you, John freaking Murdoch. Mr. Blee says, I thought Jeremy was black from the waist down. I am. That was how I was able to go see Black Panther.
You understand the psychology of a lot of these individuals?
I'm black from the waist down. I can say the N-word.
It makes sense. That's the only way it can make sense. Because otherwise, I'm trying to figure out what this has to do with black people. Ain't got nothing to do with black people. It's just black people being hurt because, again, a white man may not love them as much as they thought. So that being said, this is Jackson Dart and his response. And again, he's not apologizing. And, you know, at the end of the day, like, I think that he's handling this well.
Appreciate y'all being here. I understand that there's probably going to be questions that involve off the field topics.
Off the field topics.
For that.
You notice how he said that? He put emphasis on it's off the field topic.
I have a statement, and I hope I can answer as many of those questions that y'all may have. And I ask that can talk about football after that, and I hope that you know, we can understand and respect that from each other. You know, obviously this was a unique opportunity. being asked and given the opportunity to introduce the President of the United States, my thinking was pretty simple. In the fact of, I've always loved this country. I have extended family members who have fought in wars. I have 2 uncles who have retired from the Air Force Academy and served themselves.
If he keeps handling this situation like he's handling it, it's going to make him a megastar in the NFL. As long as he can back it up with decent play, he will be a megastar. And he's handling it perfectly right now.
I even have a great-grandfather who served as Secretary of Treasury at some point. So the president position has always been a position that I've well respected, regardless of political affiliation, regardless of political party. And my intentions were just that. I also understand in this world, politics can be a sensitive matter, a sensitive topic. I also understand that I am the quarterback of the New York Giants, and that involves a lot of responsibility. It's under a limelight, under a microscope, and there's a lot that comes with that. And it's been something that I've embraced. I've loved being here. I've loved the city of New York. I love the city of New Jersey, the people that I've met here. It's just been a really amazing experience, and there's not another place that I'd rather be. Most importantly, the people in this organization, my teammates, the staff, the coaches, everybody that has a hand.
Why does he have to explain it, though? It's a valid question as to why, because, he's being a leader of a football team. So there's a couple of different ways we can look at this. The bottom line is it's easy for me, for you, for anyone else to just go, this guy should tell these people to fuck off. Fair point. And I do wish that was the case, but let's operate within reality. Let's have some perspective. He is poised to potentially have a very, very successful football career, make himself a lot of money, make sure that his family is never going to want for anything. Right now is where the leader should lead. And he is gaining more and more and more respect with how he's handling it right now. So I think this is the best play for him to deal with it this way. As much as I would love to tell these idiots to go fuck themselves, because that's what they deserve. This is what a leader does right here.
Jose, you name it. I've loved making relationships with them and growing connections. And that's the kind of person that I am. I'm a connector. I love making relationships with people. I love hearing everybody's stories and being somebody who people can rely on to do.
St. Louis for a proper 199 game and lay. Hail to you, brother. By the way, I'm keeping my eye on things right now, but things are getting crazy in New Jersey, so we may be going over to that here soon as we get done with this clip. Holy crap. Thank you, St. Louis. Mad lad.
And most importantly, I can honestly say that I love every single one of my brothers, my teammates on this team, regardless of politics, regardless of religious beliefs, regardless of anything that may be different between us. Like, I love them, and they know exactly what kind of person that I am, who comes into the facility every day, and who lays, I lay my body on the line for my guys each and every week. And it's from the connections that we build, the love that we have for each other. And I've been somebody who's always respected, the different perspectives that people may have, the backgrounds that they come from. I understand that, we have such a cool opportunity as people, to be in a locker room where it's a melting pot of people from everywhere, and we get to be together. I think that the connections that we build are special because, we're able to have vulnerable conversations. We're able to learn from each other, to support each other, irrespective of the color of our skin. And, we have a real brotherhood. We've had a lot of honest conversations with each other as a team. And I like to keep those things private between me and my teammates, and just everything that's been said. But I love these guys, and going forward, I can't wait for what more we have to grow. The culture of this team, our brotherhood, and obviously we understand the biggest goal is to be the best team that we can be, to put ourselves in the best position to succeed, to chase a championship, to be the best players for Coach Harbs and all the coaches here. And, that's our focus going forward each and every day. And can't wait to continue to do that. Appreciate you guys.
Yeah. So I'm hoping that the people who are so butthurt, who had their feelings hurt over this, I hope they're satisfied. He said he loves everybody, right? He loves everybody regardless of their race or religion. I hope people are now okay, right? Because I know the white man supporting Trump, right? That's an indication he might not love you the way you want to be loved, right? We know.
And by the way, like, you got to think about like the optics of how he handled that right there. Like, for better or for worse, Jackson Dart is now, he represents a MAGA supporter in the eyes of these deranged lunatics. Handling it that way pretty much destroys all of their arguments.
That's fine. He said he loves everybody, right? He loves everybody regardless of their race or religion. I hope people are now okay, right? Because I know the white man supporting Trump, right? That's an indication he might not love you the way you want to be loved, right? We know you want that love and affection. I hope he's addressed your concerns. I know that you're so upset, right? Bruh, the fact that he even got to do this is just so crazy to me. It's so crazy to me.
It's because he's surrounded by children, immature children.
Especially considering how, you have other news stories that are not getting nearly as much attention. Like, for example, an incident involving Josh Jacobs, who, apparently was involved in a domestic incident. But, for whatever reason, this is not something that the media is concerned about, right? They're not concerned about that. Abdul Carter is not concerned about this, right? NFL players aren't really concerned about the fact that you have individuals beating their partners, right?
TMJ4 has learned more, though, about what went down Saturday morning at Jacob's home. Dispatch audio lets us listen in as first responders answer.
To be fair, though, and I'm going to have to challenge Greg a little bit there, but to be fair, like, yeah, Josh Jacobs, assault, violence, but he didn't vote for Trump.
To the woman's call for help.
I hear yelling and screaming, things being thrown. It's plotting to this location. I have an open line, possibly a male-female.
A few minutes later, dispatch received a second call about that incident from a concerned next-door neighbor.
Neighbor is calling now saying that her neighbor was assaulted.
Dispatches are later heard saying the man suspected in that assault was not there. He drove away from the home in a Mercedes G-Wagon, but that easily spotted SUV was being tracked with license plate reader cameras.
Yeah, at this point, we'll want that vehicle stopped if they come across it.
In the end, deputies and an ambulance responded to the call at Jacob's home.
Yeah. So, again, stories like this fly on the radar. Right, you can be an NFL player, and you could allegedly be a domestic abuser, and nobody's gonna give a damn. You're not gonna have NFL players speaking out saying, "Hey, this is wrong. I don't agree with this. This is against my morals. This is against my values. Right? This is against everything I stand for." Nah, they're not gonna say much about that, right? Not gonna say much about that, right? Even if you beat your wife, okay, it's okay.
Yeah, if you ask one of these clown players about this, they're gonna say, "Well, that's a private matter. I don't want to get involved." Yeah, well, so was Jackson Dart. On his own time, in his private life, he did something. He made a decision. Not your business. Yet, you've made it your business.
It's fine, okay? It's fine to be a criminal, right? It's totally fine. But if you introduce the president in your own time during the off season, during an event that has nothing to do with your team or the NFL at all, oh, well, now all of a sudden it's a problem, right? It's the worst thing in the world. So many feelings are hurt, right? And that's why this story is so ridiculous, in my opinion. It's so ridiculous. And all these people trying to rationalize this, right? It ultimately just comes down to they hate Trump and they feel like that athletes and celebrities should not openly support somebody that they disagree with. That's it. That's it.
Well, that and the fact that he's a white dude, as Greg already covered, because, you know, we've had some black players go in there and meet with Trump and all that, but that's not a problem. But as soon as the white boy does it, it's a problem.
Because again, if it was Obama, if it was Joe Biden, they'd be like, well, I agree with them, right? I think that they're good people. So that's what it is. Liberals really believe that their moral judgments on the president should determine whether or not an athlete or celebrity can openly support them, even in their own spare time, right?
And that's the ridiculousness of the current NFL. You guys go support Black Conservative Perspective. He's less than 3,000 away from 1 million subscribers. Hail Greg. He's a good dude. Appreciate Greg. Let me catch up on some of these. We got Zwani for 50. Says, question, were you born with the grift or were you born with the gift of grift or did you have to learn it? That's a great question, actually. I worked way too many shitty jobs and I don't want to go back. I think that's the simple answer. I don't want to go back doing those shitty jobs. That's really it. So I'm just going to work my ass off. But the reality of this is, the truth of this is, if I did not build out G&G into this huge network, I could have retired already. But because I've decided to turn this into this huge network and bring all of these people in and do all the stuff that I'm doing and pour all the money into it, I'm going to have to work for at least the next 5 or 10 years to build what I want out of this thing and turn it into what I want to turn it into, and potentially, hopefully, turn it over and, you know, to kids or something like that down the road. But yeah, I want G&G to last for long after I'm gone. That's the goal. But I'll be honest with you, it is not easy to do what I do. And I'm not saying it, don't feel sorry for me, but building something with so many personalities and moving parts and legal shit and insurance and paying people, it's a fucking nightmare. But it's what I want. So we will continue to do it. And I just don't want to go back to work retail ever again. Ever again. Bella Stella for 50. It says, respect the grift. Let's go. Could get more could get more D hires. That is true. That is true. Streaming is hard. Streaming is easy. That's the easy part. If it's all it was streaming, it'd be great. But as soon as the stream ends, then I have to worry about all the other shit. And I will tell you right now, the single worst thing, there is only one terrible thing about running your own business and working for yourself. There's only one bad thing. Paying taxes. Oh my God. It is the most painful thing I have ever done in my life is pay taxes. Holy shit. It makes you so angry. It's the worst thing ever. My goodness. It's so bad. I would rather spend 20 hours on a plane than to pay taxes. Harley Dave says retirement grift tax, lol, you and me both, mother effer. Yes. You should hire an accountant. I do, but I don't listen as much as I should. So I end up, having to figure it out late in the game. So I do have an accountant. But I don't listen as well as I should. So then I end up, he's like, well, I told you. I'm like, yeah, I know. All right. So Thank you for all the support. You guys are insane. Look, we've got this stuff going on right now in New Jersey. Right now, New Jersey State Police with riot shields moving in on anti-ICE protesters outside of Delaney Hall. What the hell is happening right now? Breaking major brawls going on at out here at ICE Newark with New Jersey State Police.
Dude, this is wild, bro.
This is not an organic situation. These are paid protesters. Why aren't we investigating this? This is obviously paid protesters. Teresa says, well, as a disabled person on disability, I appreciate you, Jeremy, for paying your taxes and all of the rest of you tax-paying figs too. Well, thank you. That does make me feel better a little bit. It just, yeah, it's tough. It's tough. Holy shit. He looked like he looked like a giant going through there. The camera work was crazy. Look at that forced perspective, man. That is awesome. Forced perspective. Now, just for the context for everybody, the Trump DOJ arrested the Antifa or anti-ICE or whoever this person was from last night that threatened the ICE agent's family. What did he call him? What did he say? What did he say? Oh, fascist. Okay, fascist. I thought there was another word that might have been said. Jeez. Now, apparently they have the streets cleared right now. Give me just a minute. Let me pull this. They have now got the streets cleared. Let's see. Right here. This is 30 minutes ago. New Jersey State Police have completely cleared the street outside of ICE Newark.
Okay, all right.
Doesn't look like they're cleared. Oh, they've pushed them back is what they have done.
Come on, guys.
They're protesting for illegal immigrants. These people are retarded.
Hold the line. Come on. This is what fucking for.
ICE has to answer to Trump. Y'all have to answer to the state of Jersey. It ain't gonna go as well for you. I promise you that, guys. Sorry. This shit is not gonna end the way for y'all the way it got for those guys in there. I promise you that.
It does drive me crazy that law enforcement has to deal with this shit. It really pisses me off. Look at this. Let's see. Is it Fiendish Mr. D? Says, my first super chat, and I chose this fig. I would say it could have been worse, but it probably couldn't have been. So it's a terrible decision. But the good news is there's a lot of people that share that terrible decision. You'll find a lot of sympathy in the chat. Thank you. I appreciate that so much. And Scully with a $100 super chat says, helping with your taxes, grift. Looking forward to the meetup in Vegas from the 10%. Hoping to meet a lot of you guys. Y'all crack me up. Thanks for the laughs. We may we see the damn video, please. Oh, yes, we can. Damn! One more time for the people in the back. Damn! And yes, Vegas is going to be awesome. I will be there. Many of the G&G crew will be there. And so I can't speak for everybody, but obviously the usual suspects will be there with me, but I don't want to commit anybody in particular right now because things pop up or whatever, but I will be there, Vegas, August 6th. I don't have any more specifics right now. I'm sure when Gary gets back from Japan, he will announce those details. And as soon as he does, we will have an article on geeksandgamers.com that will give you all the information that you need. And by the way, since we're talking about geeksandgamers.com, I talked about this on Friday Night Tights, but if you just go to any article on the website, and we can drop a link, but if you go to any article, click on any article, and then right there, if you click that link as add as us as a preferred source, it will help put geeksandgamers.com in your algorithm for all of the work that our team is doing over there. And it will help us rankings for Google and things like that. So if you go to geeksandgamers.com, just click that and it'll have you hit a little tab and we'll be a preferred source for you in your Google algorithm. So if you get time, but Marvin and Alex and everybody's doing a great job over there. And we put a lot of resources into the website. And so anything we can do to help that get more authority on Google, that would help. All right. So thank you again, Scully. And yes, looking forward to it. So as soon as we get more details on Vegas, I will have an article on the website and all the deets will be there. So, what is this? So this was from 48 minutes ago. So this is a little bit earlier. Jobless losers. None of these people have jobs. None of these people have any responsibility. None of them have families. None of them have anything. They're just pathetic losers. And they are being funded by evil people.
Fucking stop filming me.
Uh-oh, hang on. We got update. First Amendment barricades are all gone. State police have now left, and ICE agents are back in the parking lot.
Over there. Relax.
Absolutely insane. Like, what the hell are we doing? Good Lord. Narco says this isn't easy. Jeremy, meanwhile, 50s, Hundies, and proper 190s raining in from every direction. Also, the poor's like me with 10. There ain't nothing poor about a $10 super chat. All right. 99.9% of people are never going to super chat me that watch me. So if you think I'm worth $10, I appreciate that. Thank you, brother. Kingdom Hearts Gamer says, went to see Obsession. Amazing, superb acting, 10 out of 10 movie. I am glad you finally got a chance to see it. And I saw Zwani responded and said she's looking to see it next week. It's great. It's really, really awesome. And it's far better than Backrooms. Again, and I'm not trying to compare the two because they're completely different, but there's a lot of similarities too. But I think they're both worth checking out if you're wanting to support good, honest filmmaking. But Obsession is just substantially better. Obsession was phenomenal. So I'm glad you got a chance to see it. Narco says Jersey girls are not trash. Trash gets picked up. Thank you. Harley Dave says this is a private matter tax. Thank you, Harley Dave. Let me go back up here to the top. D. Figgins says, Tree Bear, if you're reading this, put an image of Beardo on a casting couch surrounded by Big Harambe, Mike Obama, and Epic Mickey, and my life is yours. I probably can't show that on stream if it happens. Phantasmus Knox says, Obsession was good. Fan of horror? Go watch it. 100%. MacGyver says, this is a high quality stream. Thank you. Alex Aerocave says, he's a Tuckered Carlson. Meta PC code 199. Shout out to Meta PC. Timbo Slice says, Tucker Carlson source. I made it the fuck up. Phil says, Harley Dave, Beardo doesn't believe you drive a Harley. I don't believe you. By the way, I have to show this because it was so funny. I saw Yellow Flash and many others responding to it. Let me just go to Yellow Flash. Let me go to his. I saw you in the chat earlier, Flash. What's up, Flash? Here we go. Okay, here's Flash's response, okay? Because Asmongold had a tweet, and Asmongold responded to this, okay, and said, men are naturally more attractive than women on average. That's why women need makeup. This isn't me being gay, it's science. Look at the peacock or a cardinal, male versus male, or male versus female. Females get mogged. Greek statues dedicated to the peak aesthetic form, overwhelmingly men. Listen, Asman, I appreciate you. Okay. You're awesome. You're the man. This is gay, bro. Like, this is super gay. I might have to get kind of like, I might have to be a little inappropriate here, but my 89%, or I guess 90% male audience is going to understand what I'm going to say. All right. Men, have you ever, like, when when you ever like go take a piss, we all have to do the smell check, right? And every time I'm like, what is wrong with women? Why do you find a man attractive? What the fuck is wrong with you? Like, seriously. Like, how could you find a man attractive? It's the worst decision ever. Women are hot as hell. Yes, women use makeup. We all know that. Yeah, okay. But just on average, women are substantially better looking than men, and it's not even a debate. Why would, like, every time I'm just like, why would a woman want a man? Like, what the hell is wrong with you? It's awful. But yeah, so I just disagree completely. I understand the point he's trying to make, but he's wrong. This is a very gay take from Asmongold. That's what this is. This is an extremely gay take. And when you have to say this isn't me being gay, there's a good chance that this is you being gay. Because you don't ever, that's never anything that a man should have to say in any setting. You should never have to say the words, this isn't me being gay, by the way. It's like, yes, it is. It's literally you being gay. That's exactly what it is. And Asmon, for the first time in CobraCast history. All right. This is a crazy moment. But for the first time in history, we got to play this clip for you.
I am not gay. I have relationships with women, sex with men.
And I got news for you. That means you're gay.
This has got 5 million views from Asmon. There's Flash. I don't know, man. Women with that perfect hourglass figure are like a work of art. We have to go to the gym regularly and put work in to look good. Correct. So, yeah, Asmon's wrong on this one. Asmon's wrong. So, big time. I got to be careful scrolling that one, though, because you never know what's going to show up on Twitter. Let's see here. JRL says, hello, Jeremy. Hail the chat. Preparing a brisket to start cooking tonight. Also, Jeremy Music Tournament. Have a blessed evening. We are doing a discussion, and thank you, JRL. We are doing a discussion on most important game, and that could open us up to that. So thank you for continuing to remind me. You really don't have to keep super chatting me for it, man, because I don't want you to think that I'm doing that just to get you to super. Like, I do appreciate you constantly staying on top of that, though, man. Major respect. Phil says, I bet Abdul's father is still picking up the milk. Oh, that was a good one. Harley Dave says, I can confirm that I am indeed more attractive than women on average. That's why women need makeup. Harley Dave, I got news for you. Harley Dave. Thank you for the 50. This isn't you being gay tax. Oh, man. What the hell has happened to this show? This used to be a respectable show back when we used to roast Tim Pool. Jason says, YouTuber Scott Schaefer released a video slamming Bad Jer. I'm not familiar with Scott Schaefer. Is that somebody I should be aware of? I'll have to look this person up. I'm not familiar with that one. I'll have to check it out, though. MacGyver says, sources say it's a perfect Tucker impersonation. MacGyver says, tequila got me. Alex Aerocave says, I'm the first to review Dutton Ranch on Criticless. Yeah, I usually wait till the end of the season before I do something like that. So I'll have to check your review out. Phil says, did you see Asmon's post about men today? There it is. You need to play at one of your memes for him. There it is. Look at that, Phil. Hail to you, brother. Mitchell Field says, 99% of us will never go to a G&G meetup on the other side of the country, but we still care. Well, I get that, but you're G&G fans. Like, there's a connection. You know, to care about a foreign country over in the Middle East so passionately is very strange. And it feels like it's being it feels like you're being fed information on both sides to make you care. When in reality, you just, you shouldn't care. But you can care about what you want, but I still think it's stupid. Harley Dave says that's true because it is. Tree Bear says $250 bill is up, even tagged Trump in it. Uh-oh. Hang on. Let's see what Tree Bear's cooking now. Oh, that would be awesome if that was real. Holy crap. Look at that. Dude. This is awesome. That is on point. That's what the 250 should be right there. Damn. That is awesome. Hill Rep says Trump forced me to make my bed tax. Ministry of Wrong thinks it's paid $3.33 a gallon in Indiana today. It's happening. Steel Leg says there's a Trace Atkins. He loves the country troops. Yeah, Trace Atkins is awesome. Crap Thirst Hammer says gas by me in Wisconsin is down to $3.89. East Coast Toasted Boy for 500 kicks. It says I get what Asman was trying to say. Women suck, trash talking women, but there was a better way to say it. Haha. I hear you on that. And thank you for the support on Kick. I appreciate it. Vault 199 says feel bad for Timmy. He makes 8 figures a year. Grab Thirst Hammer says US 250 G&G fanny packs win. Keep talking because I want to get them. And they are utility belts, by the way. They're not fanny packs. We're bringing them back and we're making them cool. The Under Armour Gamer says, wish Jason Aldean would step up. He gets a pass. The local Rex says, Friday Night Lights, Miller Lights with all of you. Ministry of Wrong thinks says, panic and freak out over Tim. Acting like Trump is doing nothing. How the heck can Trump prevent the idea of death threats from happening? Tim G's. Chad says, most of the people that's going after Jackson Dart probably never watched the game. Left is full of figs and liberal white women than I watch the NFL. I'll never forget years ago when Susan Sarandon was talking about the Colin Kaepernick story. When I heard Susan Sarandon talking about Colin Kaepernick in the NFL, you knew that we were in an insane place. Jake says Refrigerator Perry was the greatest lull. Let's see. Not defending him. He's been a buzz so far. Relax. I know. I was just fucking shit talking you. It's all good. Jeffrey says Abdul Carter did play last year, but had a lot of problems with showing up late and on a regular basis. Also playing like crap. Chad says these people going after Jackson Dart are not even football fans. The left is full of nothing but figs and white liberal women. They don't watch the NFL. Yeah, okay. That was the first. You sent it twice. Wyoming Sasquatch says your diversity hire needs a hug for sitting 5. You mean getting 5,000 subs? Maybe hear him out. Maybe raid Meek's stream just this once. He's black, so we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Holy crap! Harley Dave just dropped 50 gifted memberships. Holy crap. I was not prepared for that. And yet here we are. And everybody's happy about that. Everybody's happy. As they should be. Why, you ask? Why are they excited and happy about that? Got you, brother. Thank you, Harley. You are the freaking man. Absolutely insane. Why do you think people are happy about this? Do we have any idea why? Not me. I missed it. What happened? Well, I guess we can play. I want this clip. Let's see. How about this one? Even Zwani says it. Even Zwani says it. Great personality. Great personality. Harley Dave, thank you, Harley. And says, got you, brother. Thank you. Yeah, Asman, you were saying, Asman, America's ass. 1775. Yep. Absolutely. Holy crap, man. Yeah, that guy, I couldn't believe that guy was in my comments, like crying that I keep playing Anna Paulina Luna clips. I'm like, bro, are you gay? Like, what? Why would you complain about that? Why would you complain? What is wrong with you? Like, who would complain about that? Willie Will! Holy crap. Willie Will. For 50 gifted memberships. Well, we got another video we can play. There it is. Asman in shambles. My goodness. Was I talking? I don't even remember. Oh yeah, Willie Will. For 50 gifted memberships. That's back-to-back 50s, and Scully still missed the gifty. Why does Scully keep missing the 50s? That's so weird. Doesn't make any sense. I don't understand it. Insane. Thank you guys. What the heck is happening? You guys are out of control. Dark Gavel says, how are we going to get rid of racism? Morgan Freeman. Stop talking about it. That is one of the best responses we've ever heard. And guess what? None of the clowns listened. I think I have that. Let's see. See if I can find it. Is this it? Maybe this is it right here.
Black History Month, you find
ridiculous.
Why?
You're going to relegate my history to a month?
Oh, come on.
What do you do with yours? Which month is White History Month? No, well, come on, tell me.
Well, I'm Jewish.
Okay, which month is Jewish History Month?
There isn't one.
Oh, why not?
Yeah.
Do you want one?
No.
All right, I don't either. I don't want a Black History Month. Black history is American history.
How are we going to get rid of racism?
Stop talking about it. I'm going to stop calling you a white man.
Yeah.
And I'm going to ask you to stop calling me a black man. I know you as Mike Wallace. You know me as Morgan Freeman. You understand what I know this white guy named Mike Wallace. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
It's literally the perfect response. There's no other response that could ever be better than what he said right there. It's perfect. And none of these clowns have listened. None of them. There you have it. Legendary. Perfect answer. Perfect. Darth Gavel, I got that one. That's the one that led us to that. Albert Nada Retro says, not 100% sure if this is true, but evidently Marcia Lucas has passed away. That is true. Yeah, we talked about it earlier. Ministry of Rome thinks says, where was this energy when Colin Kaepernick was making a national spectacle? Literally during the game. What happened to players have free speech? Yeah, I mean, Colin Kaepernick's right there with Bubba Wallace is two of the worst people that have ever been in professional sports. So, Jeffrey Andrews says Abdul Carter is looking like Wes Watson right now. For those that didn't hear, I think Gary made a tweet about it. Let me go to Gary's Twitter account. Right here. Yep, here we go. There it is. Her and George right there. 80 years young, legendary, person that had a lot to do with the original trilogy. This is George Lucas's ex-wife. She was very involved with the original trilogy, and 80 years young. Rest in peace. It's awful, awful, awful. So yeah, I just want everybody to know because I saw a couple. I think it was Willie Will. It was like, wait, what? Yep. So sad, but 80 years old is a good long life. Maximus says, where are my breets at? Midnight Light says, Tyson voted Trump, said, what are you going to do about it to people? That's right. Mod Eric says, just say it. Beardo's going to make you work till you're 80. Let's see. ACC says, Legolas, they're taking the leftists to Isengard. Jim P says, is there an issue with me that I send you most of my money super chats? Thanks for the stream. Is there an issue? Not at all. I have none. All right. I have no issues whatsoever. Tay says, here. Thank you. Crazy Clown Town says, I think you're worth this much. Thank you. This means so much to me. I've never had a super chat be this nice to me. So thank you. TJ says, he isn't being a fig. He is describing it wrong. Men don't need makeup to look good. Yet, have you seen a woman without makeup? Nightmare fuel. Well, I mean, I don't think this is the right take. This is and no disrespect, TJ. This is a chronically online take. So whenever I see people post pictures of Sydney Sweeney, okay, when she's just out and about, and I see these guys are going, look at her without makeup. She's totally mid. And it's like, have you ever dated a woman in your life, bro? Like, this is typically what a woman looks like in real life, in the real world. Like, we people that have actually dated women know this. Like, we know that when you put the glitz and the glamour and all of that, like, but any person that's ever dated a woman, that's married to a woman, we kind of know that women look like that when they don't have all their makeup on. This is normal. Like, women are still substantially more attractive than women are more attractive than anything with or without makeup. All right. Simple as that. Like, women are hot. Men are disgusting pigs. All right. There was a meme I saw a while back, and it was like, it showed like this diagram of like, I wish I could find it, but it showed a man and how we bathe, and it said how men bathe in the shower. Okay. And it showed the red spots of where we wash, and it's underarms. Okay. We wash our underarms, our downstairs region, and then everywhere else, it says water will get it. And I'm like, that is so accurate. That's literally how I get in a shower. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to bathe here. I'm going to bathe here. And then the rest of my body, it's water will get it. Yeah, that's about it. Yeah, the water will get it. I don't need to, that's exactly it. So, let's see. Eric says, as likes the hourglass with the kickstand. Stormbreaker says, to be honest, Jeremy, if you were really a gay, I would stop supporting you. Please don't ever turn gay or liberal on us. Well, gay and liberal is the same thing, but I will never be either. Van says, would buy the fanny pack utility belt. Can we get a holster pocket with the tactical ones? I like that idea. Mod Eric says that Jay needs to get APL on FNT. I wouldn't be able to say anything. I would just be like, hi. Saratoga says, I don't know if Asmund is gay, but did Trump prove earlier that you can call another guy beautiful and still be an alpha male? Trump is playing in a different galaxy than the rest of us. So most of us can't do that, but Trump can get away with it. I have actually met Anna Paulina Luna a long time ago at a DeSantis rally in Tampa. ACC says, yo, Anna Paulina Luna, can I eat the tuna? Numbers and Whiskey says, I think your gestures are beginning to subconsciously imitate Trump. Not a bad thing. Some say a good thing. I say a terrific thing. Operation Outstanding. What's up, man? Says, celebrating in Japan with the fellowship, the 5th anniversary of the day. I experienced a life-threatening illness and injuries, challenged myself to expand limits and learn every day, started an event planning business, enjoy life. Drew has overcome so much. Drew is truly an inspiration. And if you guys have not, I would recommend you look into what he's been through and what he's overcome. It is incredible. And he's been part of, our community for years. And it really is special what he has done. And I don't know if any of our mods can link to any of his videos or something, but I would highly recommend checking out his journey. It's truly outstanding, pun intended. But thank you, Drew. And I'm glad you're having fun with everybody in Japan, brother. You deserve it more than most. You absolutely do. Let's see. Michaela says for 20 says, girls up, hail 199. New to the chat, not new to the channel, just supporting the girls. Let's freaking go. Female audience has stepped up. All right. The Snake Pit, the female audience is on fire. Incoherent Name says the libs love using the talking points that Trump is historically unpopular as if polls matter. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. And thank you for the 20. Really appreciate that. This idea that Trump is historically unpopular is one of the biggest and most obvious lies that they tell. Trump is historically one of the most popular people in our lifetime. And that is just the truth. Everywhere he goes, people follow. He sells out arenas, even though they aren't even selling tickets. Like, people are lining up. He's the biggest star there is. And it drives these Hollywood people crazy because he's a bigger star than any of them. And it hurts their ego. Shaky Owens, thank you for the member message. Harley Dave says, why don't you tell me? Narco says, Sydney Sweeney still looks hot as shit without makeup. The only person more attractive is me. Mr. Parker for a 2, thank you. Jim says, Tim Pool's Ian crew member sucks with music and topic discussion. Timcast don't have good enough music. I mean, I don't think Tim's music's good, but I respect that Tim puts himself out there and tries. Sola says, around 6 months ago, Tucker spoke at a TPUSA event. Someone called out Tucker for taking money to change his narrative on positions. The guy was right. He was. Dara Meta says, proud to be part of the 10%. Let's freaking go. Thank you. Sean Levin Life says, an American citizen introduced the American president before he spoke to a crowd of American citizens. Somehow this is a controversy. Absolutely dumb. You are correct. And that's an accurate way to put it right there. And then thank you guys again for supporting on Kick and on Rumble. I appreciate it. Harley Dave says, hi, Jerry, or whatever the fuck your name is. You see how people talk to me? No respect. Like zero. I get zero respect. But you know what I do get? I get more respect than a certain person named James Tallarico, because President Trump just called Tallarico a transgender. Bro, this is what I voted for. All right, here we go. So here we go.
I hate to bring it up. I like to bring it up just before the elections because they won't change men playing in women's sports. They won't, this transgender, this guy running in Texas, he says there are 6 genders. This guy running in Texas. This transgender, this guy running in Texas, he says there are 6 genders. He wears a mask all the time. He's a disaster candidate, I'll tell you. I think Ken Paxton's going to absolutely just destroy him.
47's right.
He wears a mask all the time. He's a disaster. Man, when Trump is ready to go after you, you might as well just give it up. All right? Because we're going to get more of this right here.
And when they took over, Buttigieg, who has no clue, he drives to work on his bicycle with his, in all fairness, with his husband on the back, which is a nice, loving relationship. But he didn't have a clue. This guy didn't have a clue. And he's actually a contender for president. Between him and Crockett, you can have that party.
Buttigieg. So yeah, man, if Trump's going to start going after Tallarico, and I'm just learning about the guy, oh boy, he's in for it.
They won't change men playing in women's sports. They won't, this transgender, this guy running in Texas, he says there are 6 genders. He wears a mask all the time. He's a disaster candidate, I'll tell you. I think Ken Paxton's going to absolutely just destroy him.
Oh yeah, Trump's about to go ham on him, and I can't wait. I am here for it big time. Now, another thing that happened a little bit earlier today, which I thought was super cool, was that the MAGA War Room account, because we have the we've got the UFC event that's happening, and Hillary Clinton decided to tweet out about it. This is what Trump's done to the people's house. 1/3 of it is rubble. Another 1/3 is a cage match. What a metaphor. So that is what is going on right now at the White House. And Hillary Clinton is very unhappy. Okay. So here's what's good. All right. Because do you notice something there? You notice how many comments are there? Huh. Not a lot of comments, huh? So the Trump War Room says if you actually cared about the people, you'd turn your comments on. Bro. It's like it's me responding. But the official Trump War Room is the one that responded. Like, this sounds like some shit me or Gary would say on Twitter to somebody. Well, we got the official Trump War Room. If you actually cared about the people, you turn your comments on. It is a beautiful, beautiful thing. Woo! Yeah, Hillary Clinton being this butthurt all these years later is perfect. It is absolutely perfect. It makes me so happy to know that she is so miserable because Donald Trump took all of her legacy away, just like he did with Barack Hussein Obama and many others. And there's nothing they can do about it. There's absolutely nothing. Now, there is this clip I wanted to play. Don't get too jealous of the athleticism in this video, okay? Because this is true peak male physical performance right here, all right? Oh my goodness. Dude, the JD Vance meme is arguably the greatest meme we have seen in recent years. It's unbelievable. Oh man, it's so good. We don't deserve the JD Vance memes, but we're going to continue to get them, and it makes me happy. Right here, presidential pardon the albino buffalo named Donald Trump. Still can't believe this is a real headline. The albino buffalo named Donald Trump was saved from a sacrifice in Bangladesh after going viral because of its distinctive blonde hairdo and the resemblance to the president. Officials later decided to move the buffalo to Bangladesh National Zoo. How is this real life? What is happening, man? How does he do it? How does Trump do it? I don't know. Not sure I'll ever figure that out. But here we are. My goodness. And then I will say that I saw this earlier and I was pretty inspired. I was pretty inspired by something. So let me show you really quick because this is really inspiring when you see that somebody is so committed and so determined to get those Epstein files released. Of course, I can't find it right now. There was a picture of Thomas Massey and what's her name? Dog the Bounty Hunter. What's her name? Marjorie Trader Green. Yeah. So there was they were on a boat and they're fishing. And I'm going like, aren't you supposed to be like fighting for the Epstein victims? But yet you're out fishing. You're like, yeah, we'll get to the Epstein victims. But first, watch this shot. And it reminded me of the George W. Bush thing. I'm like, so these guys are just out there fishing. Okay, well, we can have that. I got this meme to show you, though. How many of you, it depends on if you're in my age range or not, how many of you remember the Scholastic Book Fair at school? I need a raise of hands in the chat. How many of you remember the Scholastic Book Fair? Lots of people. All right, we're getting a lot of people. Okay. So tell me this is not the greatest right here, okay? Right here. Me in the 90s walking into the Scholastic Book Fair with $10. You all know this. This was when you had $10, it was over. Dude, it was the greatest feeling in the world, man. You had $10 and you're like, woo, we are cooking. We are cooking. It was the best feel. I'm getting chills talking about it. I literally have chills talking about this shit, dude. It was the best feeling in the world. I miss those days so much. Throw in a Trapper Keeper. Hell yeah, man. Get a Trapper Keeper. Oh, it's the best. Michael Williams says, just wanted to say congrats to you for cornering the 1% of 1% of the remaining 90%. Hail the 199. Thank you. There's one other one I have to show you. I gotta, since we were on that one and so many people appreciate it, let me see if I can find it. Oh man, where's it at? Sometimes when I bookmark some of these things, they don't actually show. They get deleted for whatever reason or something like that. Man, there's no way this thing got deleted, but I guess it did. I think I can find it. It's truly like one of the best memes if I'm able to track it down. It's on one of those WWE pages. So... oh my gosh. What is it just me or are the Twitter bookmarks all jacked up? It seems like they are very messed up, actually. Do Doobie doobie doo. Is this where I'm supposed to do the doobie doobie doo so I can waste time? Because I feel awkward. Yeah, I guess we're not going to be able to find it right now. Damn Twitter. I don't know why things have to mess up. It's a Macho Man meme, by the way. Yeah. And I know the people love the Macho Man memes, but I just don't know if I can be able to track it down or not. Because Macho Man memes, for those the uninitiated, if you remember the greatness of the Macho Man, then you know that this would have been top tier if I could find it. How was your weekend? Or I could just play Anna Paulina Luna clips while I'm looking for it. I'm sure that wouldn't upset anybody, would it? That would probably not upset one single person. Well, oh, here it is. I found it. Okay. Now, this is truly something everybody is going to relate to, okay? How many of you, when it's time to bring the groceries in, okay? Like, men don't like when people help them bring groceries in. We have this mentality that we're going to bring all the groceries in. We don't need your help. We didn't ask for your help. I can grab every bag. I can overdo this. You tend to end up in a terrible situation, but you're still going to try this, okay? So this is how we act when it's time to bring the groceries in right here.
All by myself. No pukesters helping me to the left, and no pukesters helping me to the right. Didn't need them then, don't need them now.
Yes. This is literally every man when it's time to bring the groceries in. It's the greatest thing I've ever seen.
All by myself. No pukesters helping me to the left, and no pukesters helping me to the right. Didn't need them then, don't need them now.
Oh, man, it's so good. The local Rex for 15 says, got too involved in the stream. It totally effed the Warhammer model build I was doing. So F it. Take some more money for free entertainment. Good times, good company. Well, I'm sorry to hear about that, man, but thanks for supporting, and I really appreciate it. I'm glad that we were able to entertain through all of that. And Judson says a Scholastic book fair for the win. The good old days, man. The damn good old days. Godzilla's Creature says he's a vegan too and thinks God is non-binary. Who are we referencing there? Harley Dave says Buttigieg. Oh, you're talking about the James Tallarico. Holy shit. Better Dead Than Red is blowing up the Kick chat. And I'm not saying you're spamming. You're just the only person there. So, but I appreciate you in the comments over there. Toddy says as Trump ages, he's turning into that bull. Chad Admiral Thon says, hail to 199. Hey, D-Day, who needs respect when you get paid to be disrespected? Hopefully you all do the meetup near, is that Arkansas? Yeah, I mean, it really just like whatever opportunities, present themselves. I'm not against going anywhere. Just, we'll have to see. Kecklord says, I still have my first Scholastic book on the shelf behind me. Let's see, is a TOS Star Trek 10 compiled by Jay Blish. And over on Rumble, Dan Vicious says, what the fuck? You had $10? One time I did, and I felt like $1 million. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we are at the end of another CobraCast. I appreciate it. I do have plans to go live this weekend. I don't know what times yet. Tomorrow I've got some stuff to do, so I'll be out and about, but it'll be later in the evening. I don't want to stream over Flashcast, so I'll try to get in before Flashcast. Godzilla's Grease says, in other words, he has less of a chance than Beto did. Let's hope, because we don't need that clown anywhere. But another one in the books. Thank you guys so much again. I'm looking forward to the Vegas meetup in August. I can't wait to see all of you there. All the support, the gifties and the supers. You guys are insane. I don't know why you support me. I don't get it, but I'm very thankful. You have no idea how humbled I am by all the support. Nandor says, member message got nuked tax. Mentioned pew pew. Oh, really? I'm sorry to hear that. I read all of them. So, but yeah, we'll be live tomorrow. So thank you guys. And again, just go over to geeksandgamers.com. And if you're interested, obviously you don't have to, but if you hit that add us as a preferred source, that will help the website out, and it'll put us in your algorithm over there. Other than that, you guys have a good evening, and we will talk to all of you later. There's Zwanny. Thank you, Zwanny. Summer of Doom. What's up, Summer? Akara, Marc-Andre Roy, Lady Aaron D, Hill Reps, Godzilla's Greaser, Nips Litter, Math Blade, Dan Campbell. Thanks for the links right there. Proud American, Dandy Johnson, Moon, Blue Ridge Bear, Kai Win, Soundwave Superior, Arclight 199, Laughing Man, Teresa, Matt, Eric K, Raptor, Larry, Phil, Beastie Man. All right, thank you guys so much. Have a good evening, and we'll talk to all of you later. Have a good weekend. We'll talk to all of you later. I'll see you at some point this weekend. Am I going to stop talking and just end the fucking stream? I keep finding reasons to talk, and I don't know why. I don't have to, but I keep doing that. But have a good weekend. Talk to all of you later. Bye, everyone.